Good evening, my name is Joel Cameron, and today I've been tasked with informing you why the movie Fight Club is the best possible text to deepen your understanding of human experiences. This will be achieved through my explanation of its exploration of three underlying human experiences: consumerism, masculinity, and individualism, and how it displays paradoxes, inconsistencies, and anomalies within human nature that allow the viewer to think about and draw their own conclusions of the human experience. The story follows our protagonist, Coin the narrator, throughout his journey of breaking free from his repetitive life as a mindless consumer and job as a compliance and liability consultant. After being acquainted to Tyler Durden, the two create an underground fight club for unsatisfied men, which eventually devolves into the very thing it stands against. Now, if these aren't human experiences, I don't know what is.
Whoop, there I go. Ah!
The movie opens with a POV medium shot of the narrator's boss, and utilizes the salience of his tie to express the narrator's hyperfixation on the color cornflower blue, which we learn his boss wears every Tuesday, symbolizing the repetitive nature of his job and ultimately introducing us to the narrator's character as someone who feels trapped in their day job and can't escape, an experience that can be echoed by most of the people who have 9-to-5s. Furthermore, the control that materialism holds on the consumer is displayed through the pan shot of the narrator's apartment, slowly incorporating IKEA furniture into the architecture along with their prices. The pan shot exemplifies the narrator's wide nature of consumption, as it feels like it's never going to end. The exploration into an individual's masculinity and what it means to own your masculinity is heavily explored throughout the movie Fight Club. In the dialogue,
"We're a generation of men raised by women. I'm wondering if another woman is really the answer we need."
Tyler notes how the absence of a father in an individual's life has stripped them of their masculinity, and in order to reclaim it, he creates a fight club, which in nature is inherently self-destructive, which prompts the question, is masculinity unhealthy? Letting the viewer think for themselves to produce their own conclusions about the human experience of masculinity.
I'm standing here in front of a scene that shows a domestic terrorist attack by the underground group Project Mayhem, formed from members of the Fight Club. My cameraman is using a low-angle shot to symbolize the power these men feel after breaking free from what they see as a masculine job, further driving home the idea of this destructive, toxic masculinity that has been present throughout society since forever. Back to you in the studio to explain more.
Channel 4.
Yes, it can be seen that these men feel as if they are trapped and limited by their daily lives, that they have resorted to violence to reclaim their individuality, paradoxically, all under the leadership of one person, Tyler Durden. This leads us to our next segment, individualism. In this shot, the collective bald heads symbolize the lack of uniquity between the members of Project Mayhem, despite believing that they are free of control. This displays the paradox of how wanting to be unique can in fact lead to the opposite if everyone around you wants to be unique as well. Additionally, after the narrator learns that Tyler is a person created in his mind through a combination of insomnia and lack of self-acceptance, he plans to stop Tyler's plans to blow up buildings to reset all credit card debt to zero. During this attempt, a fight between Tyler and the narrator breaks out, in which cross-cutting between what the narrator sees and what is real is shown through the medium of security cameras. This displays the loss of individuality the narrator faces, as we witness that it is himself is throwing down the stairs, yet there is nothing he can do about it. To hammer the last few nails in the coffin of why Fight Club is the only reasonable text to study for you next year would be to link it to the current text, 1984. The paradox of individualism and identity seen in Fight Club is also explored in 1984, as Winston chooses to join the Brotherhood to escape the fear of oppression and control of Big Brother, but ironically falls into something worse, where he swears to give down his life and kill children for the supposed cause, which is only another form of control. Additionally, the idea of toxic masculinity is reflected through Orwell projecting his perception of women through his writing, defining Winston as a character who has fallen into conventional societal views of the time, exploring the collective human experiences of sexism and masculinity combined. From all this, it is evident that you need to study Fight Club next year, as not only does it display and explore common human experiences, but it allows for the viewer to draw their own conclusions and form an opinion about what the movie is actually saying. Fight Club teaches us that we are not our job, we are not how much money we have in the bank, we are not the car we drive, we are not the contents of our wallet, and we are not our car keys. But neither are we the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world. It teaches us to think for ourselves.